Hello and welcome along to the Bunch of Punts Betting Podcast, a special show for football long shot bets. It is a gambling show. Gambling can be extremely dangerous, so be careful. And if you think you're at risk, visit begambleaware.org for all the information on how to do it responsibly. Coming up on today's show, we're going to build an ACCA and we've got loads of singles, some juicy prices for the weekend's footballing action. As ever, Matthew O'Regan alongside me. How are you doing, buddy?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, I'm all right. Looking forward to this weekend's football, actually. We've started doing the show, recording it last thing on a Friday, and I don't know about you, but at this time you've got all your favourite bets lined up nicely, haven't you? And it feels good.
Gets you excited as well, because once we've done this, takeaway and a beer, and then I'll sit, put my laptop away for the weekend, and then enjoy it.
Bam, whack it shut, good night. Yeah, I moved house last Friday, and my old house, it was like a 30-second walk to the pub, but this one, the pub is literally across the road, and I went in there the other day, and it's got delicious Guinness, like cold.
Cheap?
It's not cheap. It's like £5 a pint. So
Is it better than the grapes in Chef?
No. That'll never be beat, will it? Yeah.
No.
The grapes is quality, cash only. It must have some Irish connections because the Guinness there is honestly as good as I've tasted in the whole country.
I think if I lived in Sheffield, I'd be in there like twice, 2 or 3 times a week. Me and Coops would be in there.
Coopy! Did you ever go to Dogs with him?
No, because it was over Christmas and I was in Scotland when he asked. He messaged me I was going to go with him, but I was in Scotland when he went. But I said, next time he's down here, we'll go Dogs or something.
A day at the Dogs with Coopy would be an absolute joy. He takes it very seriously. But I'm not far from the tram where I've just moved to, which runs straight to the Grapes, I believe. So that'll be getting
door-to-door service.
Door-to-door service. Anyway, right. We usually do an ACCA first up on the show, but I'm going to switch it around quickly because you've got some bets. We're recording 4:30 on a Friday. So if anyone is listening, tonight Leeds play Forest and you've got a few bets that we've snuck in there. So we'll tell them now to give anybody listening as much chance as possible to get on.
Yeah, sorry it's so last minute, but we're both busy days, so we could only just cram it in now. But it is a big game at the bottom. Both teams, Leeds and Forest, are 6 points clear of West Ham, so a win can sort of push one team 9 clear and sort of not all but safe because West Ham are sort of doing better, but pushes one further down and one further away, obviously, because that is how winning a football game works. Leeds, I've gone 3 cards each at 6.5, having a point on that, and then 4 cards each at 34, half a point on that. So on Bet Builder, that's over 2 cards each and over 3 cards each. It's the sort of game I say before, like sometimes stats don't really matter too much, but for contact, Leeds average 2.17 yellows against and 1.67 yellows for at home. Forest got 1.754 and 2.515 against away from home. As I mentioned, big relegation game. And Peter Banks is a ref. He averages just over 4 cards a game, and he can be very low carding, but he can be. So his average, it's not like he's consistently hitting 4. Sometimes he's got big games, sometimes bad. But Timeway Derby, 5-4 split, showed 4 each when Bournemouth played Brighton, showed a red each in United Chelsea, and 3 each and a red in Fulham Chelsea. So he has potential to explode. He sort of just once he gets a feel for it, he can't stop. And I think it's a sort of game with tensions high under the lights at Ellen Road. It has potential for one. And I just think, neither side wants to lose. Some big tackles flying about, and all it takes is sort of retaliation for a big melee. Yes, I just think the cards look a touch too big for me. And with that in mind, I'll have a card double at 16-1, a half a point with Bet365. Ampadu and Anderson, sort of the 2 obvious candidates for me. Ampadu will be playing centre mid again and has 7 yellows in 21 starts. We'll be directly up against Elliot Anderson. He wins fouls for fun. Gibbs White will be drifting in that area, and 19 centre mids have been booked against Forest this season. Anderson's averaging only 0.2 cards per 90 in the Prem, but 1.42 fouls. He also picked up 2 yellows and a red in Conference League. He hasn't hit last season's numbers for cards, but I think this is a sort of game where he's Forest's sort of key player, and I think he's the sort of player the players will be looking towards. Again, it won't surprise if him and Anderson have him and Ampadu have proper good battles. Yeah, when I saw the 16-1, I was expecting a few points short. Having half a point on that and hoping it kicks off big time.
Beautiful. Up the cards. Right, into the ACCA. We'll ignore Friday's action. Start off in the Prem. Man United Tottenham early kickoff. Is there anything so good in that game that you think we must include it in the ACCA and go
I
against
don't
the
want to.
wise words of Gant?
I don't want to include it in the ACCA because it's unreliable and an early kickoff. But I do think Tottenham are a touch too big.
Yeah, 4-1. Well,
Not saying I think they'll win, but I do think they are a touch too big.
that's the game, though, isn't it? Just betting prices that you think are too big. It's the first time I've looked at this game, and it's so weird. Man United, what have they done? They've won 3 games under Carrick, 4-7 at home to Tottenham. Tottenham have been shite this season. Right, anything else in the Prem? To be honest, I barely looked at it. The lads on Sporting Life on this week's ACCA, they was hot on Chelsea. Well, I think Joe Townsend was. There was around 7-10. They're 4-6 now. They go to Wolves.
I think Chelsea rotate heavily here. Like
They always
they
do,
got a
don't
big
they?
squad. They sort of did a lot midweek against Arsenal. It was a shit game that, but I just think because they got a game midweek against Leeds at home, I think they'll see this as the time to rotate, go strong at home to Leeds, and then rotate again away at Hull in the cup. So I think this is we'll see. Chelsea have a lot for how much money they spent. They've got a lot of shit. It'll be fodder like Garnacho and that getting minutes. And I do think they beat Wolves. I don't know if I like it. There's too many unknowns with the team news, I think.
Garnacho is such a shit player.
And he's
I've
a
never
prick.
seen
Like,
not like it.
if you're going to be a prick, at least be good, but you've got nothing.
Yeah. You've got to be a lot better than he is to behave.
Like Bruno Fernandes is a bellend. Bruno Fernandes bellend, but backs it up.
Yeah, he's really good at football, and that I hate him for that as well. But I just wish he could be shit, considering how he behaves.
Too many unknowns for team news for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna skip us on past the Prem. Then we never really have hope for the Prem. Anything sticking out in the championship? There's a couple of good games. I think Rex and Millwall should be a good one. Good referee.
Yeah, I like it, but there's not much to put for an ACCA. I don't know if you'll agree. They've shortened a bit, but I like Birmingham at home to Leicester.
Yeah. If like I'd consider Birmingham as a last man pick, but I don't think I can have them at 8-13. They've drawn a lot of games. We're doing this with 365 as well.
I'd written down because I had some notes in them for the odds checker. They won 2 of the last 3, and well, one was against Sheffield Wednesday, so they don't really count. They should have beaten Stoke, but they dominated. And I just think the January window has like reinvented them a bit. They've signed Wagner, Solis, Osman, Vicente, and Prisk. Wagner, all attacking players. Wagner gives them more attack on the fullback. They've sort of just flexed their financial muscles a bit this January, and I think they're serious about it. And at home, they've got. I know they draw sometimes, but they've only lost once at home all season. It's a shit. Just lost to Charlton and Oxford. But the thing is, the point deduction could kill morale, and I think it could spur them on and interim manager. So I have sort of talked myself out of it. But I don't mind Birmingham. But if you don't want them, we can leave.
No, I like the pick, and I think Birmingham will win probably. But at 8-13, I can't back it. The thing that always gets me with Leicester is they're in absolute disarray. But I'm just looking down the goal scorer market. They've got Ayew, Mr. Penn, I know recently, but they've got Fatawu, Daka, Mavididi, Bobby D. Cordoba.
Fatawu's the only good player there. They're all shite.
Jordan James is a serious player.
Him and Fatawu are the only good Leicester players.
Harry Winks, I'm sure he earns the most money per week in the Championship. He's still there. Skip's there. Chowder is there. I'm saying a lot of these players could walk into most sides in this league. Surely.
No chance.
Are you kidding?
Not a chance.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, too short for me. I was flirting with Marvin Dutch to score in that game. I think that's how you say his name. 6-4. He's been amongst the goals recently. But, nah.
The only other standout for me in Champ is Hull, but don't know if to trust them.
Yeah, I like them. I like that price. I trust them. They've really tightened up defensively recently, haven't they?
Yeah.
There was the boys for overs, and now they're just solid. They're just solid. They're really good when it's 0-0. I'll put them in for now. 27-20. Bristol City. What I think in their last 5 they've won 5-1 against Watford. Lost 5-0 in their last home game against Derby. So you don't.
They were shocking against that. That's what put me off. I can't get a read on Bristol City. One week I watched them like they're good. The other I watched them like they're dog shit. And sides like that scare me for an ACCA.
Yeah, absolutely.
But Hull are the same. Hull look brilliant sometimes, but sometimes I watch them and like they're shit.
Yeah, I can't.
They're good more than their shithole, but I just think, I don't know, something about Bristol City puts me off.
There's always a lot of talk about like Hull don't seem to be taken seriously in the championship in the race for automatic promotion. Like nobody considers them a top two. Like Wilder did an interview, well, his presser today, yesterday, or it might have been this morning, and he was assessing the automatic race. He talked about Coventry, Borough, Ipswich. He just skipped right past Hull, who are in between Middlesbrough and Ipswich. Didn't even mention them, but they're 4 points off the top two, unbeaten in five, won four of those. They're a really good team. Like
Yeah,
they're
I like
pretty
them.
versatile, aren't they? And they get stick, particularly from Jake Oscarthorpe at Sporting Life. Second mention for Sporting Life, but he got a lot of flack for slagging them off on the show a couple of weeks ago, talking about underlying process, XG, all the underlying data, and Hull fans were obviously fuming. But if you don't watch them, you don't really know what they're about. And I think they're a bit of a Swiss Army knife. Like they're really good on the counter. They've got
Yeah.
such an experienced spine.
Like
They've
that
got
win at
goals
Borough.
from
Like,
everywhere as well, haven't they? Yeah, that win at
I
Borough.
can't remember. I think it was 1-0. They just went and shit at. I think the XG up, like obviously XG does matter in football, and that's how bookies price a lot of stuff, and that's probably why Hull are priced always quite large in the markets. I think with Hull, because Hull, I don't know the stats, but it wouldn't surprise me if Hull just score early, and then as a as a fact of that, they just don't generate as much XG. Because sometimes you get teams that are always chasing a game and rack up high XG.
Yeah.
It just might be the opposite of Hull. I don't have the numbers, but that could explain why they're shit in there. But I think it's this late in the season, and you've just got to ignore XG when it comes to Hull.
So I'm just looking. Obviously their last game ended 0-0. Yeah, the four between that and their last defeat, they scored first in. Yeah, they're scoring first a lot. Weirdly, they
So
didn't score first
naturally,
against Wednesday, but
yeah, but naturally they're not going to rack up as much XG if they're leading.
oh God, yeah, yeah. Like context. If you're not going to be able, you're obviously not going to be able to watch every minute, but you got to give some context to that date, and that's an easy fix as to why it's so far off in it. If they're conceding first,
Yeah.
is spot on.
I
Uh,
like it for now.
Yeah, so Hull are in at the minute on their own to beat Bristol City around 2.35 on 365. Anything else from the Championship?
No, I've got three prices I like in League One.
Go on then. What you got?
Well, not prices, but like they're all a bit short, but like they're not ridiculously short. Bolton to beat Barnsley.
Hmm.
Bolton have taken 13 from the last five. They're chasing automatics. They've collected 34 from 15 home games. They've only lost once. Barnsley, I've took Barnsley for relegation the other day.
Yeah, you have.
Um, Obviously, I don't think they'll go down, but 40-1 looked far too big. Leading scorer, Keeler Dunn's gone, 13 goals. Signed Tom Bradshaw, who's played about 10 games in 2 years, and he's shit as his replacement. And that just leaves him and Didsey up front, two old men. Hourihane wants pace going forward. They've got Cleary for that, but the squad is very threadbare. And Barnsley have always struggled defensively, got 2 clean sheets this season. They've lost the goal threat as well of Keeler Dunn. I think they're in real trouble, and I think it's a sort of game Bolton will be targeting. Huddersfield to beat Blackpool at home. Under Manning, they've won all three. Went down to 10 men in 2 of them and won last minute against Peterborough. So sort of scrappy wins, but I think that sort of shows the togetherness that Manning seems to have cultivated sort of a winning mentality there against all odds. They signed Hardy, obviously, who's a goal scorer at this level. They're good at home. And then they've got Blackpool, who arrive in disarray, lost 7 of their last 8, with their only win coming at home to Northampton. They're shite on the road. They got the second worst away record, losing 10 or 14 on the road. So again, Huddersfield for that. And then similar theme in Stockport to be Orient. Orient had the worst away record in the league. They lost 3-0 at Doncaster. I watched that. They were diabolical. 1-0 at home to Port Vale. We're talking about XG. You tend to rack up more when you're chasing the game, especially if you're at home to shit. Orient were 1-0 down for like 10, 11 minutes against Port Vale. Didn't even accumulate 1 XG. They're looking very toothless, and that's Connolly's injured. Normally, Orient get bailed out by goals, but their goals have dried up, creativity's dried up, and their defence is awful. Like I said, I've got it written down somewhere. They've got the worst away record in the league. They've lost 11 of their 14 on the travel, and Stockport are inconsistent at home, but they've taken they've won 5 of their last 6. The only game they didn't win was a 1-1 draw at Cardiff, so they're picking up form. Stockport are a really big purple patch team, and with Isaac Holafade back as well, they seem to be building towards a promotion charge. And they've just got the worst away team in the league coming to them. So I like.
Very nice. Yeah, and they've also got Louis Barry back. I know he's nursing a serious knee injury. Having him back at the club, that's going to be a bit of a boost as well, isn't it? The big dog.
Yeah, I like all three. I can't differentiate between which ones I like.
So you
most.
got Bolton, Huddersfield, Blackpool. I'm going to put them all in for now. It's a shade under 10-1, the 4 with Hull. Is there anything you really like in League Two?
There's a couple that have shortened, so now like County and Colchester are a bit too short for me.
All right. Who would County have got
Colchester
Barrow?
County got Barrow, Colchester got Shrewsbury.
Shrewsbury. All right, yeah, so we'll leave them. And then any you proper love in National League?
Well, I had Woking, Boreham Wood goals, but that got called off. I like Far at home to Chorley at 2.35, look big. Marine at home to Scarborough at 2.35. Goals in Bedford. They're the three that stood out for me.
There's so many non-leagues, like non-leagues in non-league. I've just scrolled way past it. So
I liked goals in Dover Worthing as well, but that shortened a bit.
right, I've my pick of the bunch for my favourite one of the ones you've just said in non-leagues, Merthyr. I think that's beautiful. I think that's absolutely beautiful. And with them, it's 25.5-1. So that's Hull, Bolton, Huddersfield, Stockport, Merthyr.
Yeah, I think fuck it, do it.
Fuck
Don't
it.
go complicate it. Just get stuck in.
Beautiful. But I had an idea as well. I'm just gonna screenshot that bet so I don't forget it. That's gonna be the acca then, yeah?
Yeah, I think so.
Right, got that. But I've had an idea as well. It's very silly, but I never do these types of bets, but these teams are just, it makes so much sense. And I'm just building it now. That's why I'm stalling a bit. But
Winning over 1 or minus 1.5.
nope, but close. Win and both teams to score. No, hang on a minute. For the Stockport game, Huddersfield game, Bolton game, Merthyr game.
Okay.
Not Hull. Hull just make me uneasy. They're very good.
You're not for winning over 1?
I don't know what difference
shorter, but
that price will make. It just doesn't seem like
obviously
it.
be shorter, but
Orient didn't score at Donny. They scored at Bolton. Didn't score at Luton. Didn't score at Peterborough. Scored at Barnsley. Didn't score at Salford.
Orient at shit going forward.
Fuck it, silly. It's just not what I do anyway. Do you know when you said them three in League One, I was actually thinking, it could work, but no, silly idea. 25-1, very straightforward. 5 teams: Hull, Bolton, Huddersfield, Stockport, and Merthyr Town. 25.38-1 with 365, and we're no way affiliated to Bet365, but I like 365 because you get a lovely boost, and they do 2 goals up. So you get paid out if the team goes 2 goals up. And other firms do this, but they clip the price in the 1x2 if you want to take advantage of that offer.
Yeah.
So 365 the goats. Right, into the singles. You're giddy for this week, aren't you? You got loads to go at. Where do you want to start?
Yeah, should I start? I'll do the goal scorer tricks actually. So I've got 1.6 points total, so 4 times 0.4 points on the Trixie at 40.17, and then 0.4 points total, so 4 times 0.1 on the Brace Trixie at 7,497. So to start, Aldershot, Halifax, William Harris to score. Aldershot conceded 55, so just shy of 2 a game, 3rd most in the league. Harris has 12 goals in 1744 minutes, so 0.62 per 90. And all of these are above 2-1, so why put them in a Trixie? Then you got York, Forest Green, Ricardo Rees to score. Since joining Forest Green, he got a brace against Halifax and sent off against Sutton. Then he scored on his returns against Scunny and Woking. He's already got 25 goals in half a season for Merth in the league below. He's sort of a player like Ollie Pearce for York, sort of set the benchmark of if you're good at scoring, you could score at most levels. Like they just got the knack for it. So he sort of slotted in seamlessly. And I think this game, I was tempted to got pro goals angles in this, but I think it's a bit short. It just stinks of like a 4-3 or something. So I just think there's plenty of goals worth a poke on a goal score over 2-1. And then Scunny Southend, Callum Roberts to score. 21 in 45 last season in the National North. 16 in 44 in his last campaign at this level with Notts County. 10 goals this season, averaging 0.45 goals per 90. He blanked against Forest Green, but before that had a goal in the last 4, as well as a brace against Hartlepool. So William Harris, Rico Rees and Callum Roberts to score. The Trixie at 40.17, 1.6 points total, and then the Brace at 7,497, 0.4 points total.
Beautiful. I love a braced Trixie. I don't know why. I've never landed one, but there's just something so beautiful about it. And your goal scorers in non-league have been very good recently. I'm just looking at the record. Annoyingly, not last episode, the episode before, you got Gilly up, didn't you? And a couple of others you're going to mention in a
Lipperson.
bit. Yeah.
Didn't Trixie them though.
Didn't Trixie then, you idiot. But
I've learned from my mistake with them one.
I'm sure you love seeing people tweeting the slips when they'd all trixied it. I loved it.
Yeah, I Trixied it, I just forgot to tip it, and then, but yeah, loads of people DM it. Like, it's first time in ages. I'd like, well, it's to say loads, but still like 9 or 10 different people like messaging me saying they Trixied it and were buzzing with it because Forest Green were the later kickoff as well.
Yeah.
So obviously they would have seen McCormack void, and then they paid out extra, and then Lip Up Fatty scored, and then it's just all waiting for Gilly for Forest Green, and then good old Gilly scored. Yeah, I was buzzing. I had a few good messages.
No, it's what it's all about, isn't it? But it is weird. It's not weird, but it's like you tip all these things, and that's why I've just got right into the Trixies anyway, because everyone's just backing them as Trixies anyway. Even though it's a bit maggy, but it's good fun. Having said all that, I've got 4 card singles that make up a card Yankee, but I'm tipping them all as singles because they are massive prices. One of them you'll be more than familiar with, but the first one comes from the early kickoff in the Champ Derby Ipswich. Derby are one of the most carded teams in the division, and there's a good ref, Josh Smith. He's only averaged 3.5 cards per game, but he's given 5 or more in 5 of his last 6. So he's cooking at the wait. Hang on, 5 or more. Oh, in 6 of his last 8. So he's going a bit card crazy at the minute, and it's Darnell Furlong 5-1 to be carded. 365 Coral Ladbrokes. It's one I just can't get my head around this. I'm sure he always used to be at West Brom like 9-4. He'd be one of the shortest prices, but since he's moved to Ipswich, I don't know if he's got some. What's the opposite of tax? Like a Ipswich bonus where they've just added like 4 points onto his card price because everyone seems to be a big price for Ipswich. But in this game with a good ref and a cardsy team in Derby, I think there could be a few. The only killer, I mean, is it's an early kickoff, which usually means cards are a bit few and far between. But anyway, this price too big, 5-1. He's got a cards per 90 of 0.23 across his whole career, which makes this price too big. He's got 6 cards for Ipswich. I'm sure he's got a few for West Brom before he left. I think he got a red card actually. So his cards per 90 average for the season is very good. The only annoying thing is, like you got a good ref, obviously a big price for the player, good cards record for said price. The only annoying thing is Derby haven't really got any like out and out good player to play up against him, if you know what I mean. But
Other than big Pat, he wins a lot of fouls, but it depends what side he's on.
yeah. I don't know if Brewster has been playing there recently. Ben Brereton Diaz not really the best at it, but he's usually off the other side. But yeah, we'll see. And if it is the game I expect it to be, because Derby are flying at the minute, they're knocking on the door of the playoffs. Ipswich need to pick up a bit of form. They dropped points against Preston last game. They've got a 7-point gap to make up on the top 2, so I think it should be competitive. Yeah, but Furlong 5-1, first of 4 player cards. Where are we going next?
I've got 3 goal scorer singles in on Lee, so I'll rattle them off.
Nice.
Brackley, Solihull, Moores, it won't be a surprise. Darius Liptuik, whatever he's called.
It's so how hard were it not to say lip up fatty then?
That is his theme tune at this point. Yeah, 7.5 for score, 3/4 of a point on that. Then the Brace is 101, quarter point on that. Scored 5 in his last 9 and sort of being deployed a bit more advanced. He was wing back on the weekend, but I think in the 10 the week before. So I'm hoping he's back in the 10. Sort of just going familiar goal scorers there. Altrincham Yeovil, Luke McCormick to score at 6, 3/4 of a point, and a Brace at 51, quarter of a point. Strong scoring form, 2 goals in his last 3 and 5 in his last 7. He's playing very advanced for Yeovil and sort of their best player by a distance. Averaging a goal in every 3 games this season, so the price does look big on its own. And it looks a big price, especially given recent upturn. Altrincham are very, very poor defensively as well, so McCormack will be fancying it. And then one I haven't tipped yet on the show, York, Forest Green, Alex Hunt to score. I looked at him earlier in the season when he was like 9s or something, but I never touched. But now he's 6s, but good reason to back. He's 6 Some of them 3/4 a point, and the brace is 51's quarter a point. He averages roughly 0.3 goals per 90 this season. So again, price is a bit big, but has 2 in his last 3. I was looking, he's on penalties now because Pierce missed a few. So he scored a few penalties, and he's on free kicks, I think. I
Yeah.
say I think, obviously I don't watch every York game, but looking at some of the shot maps,
Why not?
I know I'm a fraud. I need to be better. But looking at some of the shot maps, he's hit the woodwork with a couple of free kicks. So don't know if he's a regular taker, but he's on them. York have been given 11 penalties already this season. So him being on penalties is sort of a big reason for this. And he's averaging just shy of 2 shots a game. And with the wing back system York have sort of implemented in recent weeks, there'll be a lot of crosses going in. I think a lot of balls will fall to him on the edge of the area, and he loves a long shot. And for me, he's one of the best players in the league, Hunt, and he's finally finding some goal scoring form. So 6s for the goal and 51s for the brace.
He's a player. He's such a good technician. I just where he plays, I never had him down for loads of goals. I know he got a few for Grimsby, didn't he? But free kicks and that. But yes, good pick. I like all 3 of them actually. Oh yeah, I'll carry on my second player and who's going to make up the card Yankee that I'm also doing singles. This is one you first brought this to my attention. Sung Ho Paik is how it's
Oh yeah,
pronounced. He's another big price this weekend, and I like it's Birmingham and Leicester. Two like Birmingham are good. You wanted to back them to win. Leicester, I think, have got loads of individual quality. I think this could be a good game, and it's a good ref. John Busby, one of my favourites actually in the Championship. Birmingham are averaging just over 2 cards a game. Leicester averaging just under, but I mean just under. So I think there'll be a few cards. Referee's certainly good enough to dish them out. And Paik, sorry, he's got 6 cards this season. Based on his cards per 90 career, he should be like he's 10 to 1,365. It's about right, but he's got loads this season. I don't know why. Do you know why?
no,
Fuck knows.
essentially no. It might be because first time in this at this level. So
No, he played a bit where I'm sure he played when en route to the relegation. I'm sure he did.
really,
Honestly, unless I need to proper get into this. The only thing I can think of is he had a bit of a
oh, he
hatchet man
did, yeah.
alongside him. Like, did he play with Bielik when they got relegated or something like that? And he didn't have to.
Potentially, yeah. He only got 1 in 15 his last time at this level.
It's
I think,
nuts.
yeah, now it's him and Doyle or something.
Yeah, he's played in La Liga, second tier in Germany, the K League. Like he's got twice as many cards already in any season previously. Like I don't know a reason. If any Birmingham fans could let us know, that would be brilliant. But 6 cards this season, you've got to have a stab at this price. I'm sure he's the longest outfield player.
Okay, now I've just seen the price now.
Hey, yeah, but it's generally this price. The same with Furlong. Like all firms are like generally pretty similar price. I take him. This is Paik. I think he's 8s. Ladbrokes Coral. Bet Victor gone similar. Same with Furlong. So yeah, don't if you ain't got all the firms, you don't have to set up an account or whatever. These are all good prices, and yeah, it's going against his career average, but the price is just too big. So that's the second player. But where are we going next?
I'll tell you what, you've made me look at this game, and I've got a card price I like that I'm going to put forward as well.
Beautiful.
His midfield partner, John Solis, 6.5 for a card. Last season in La Liga had 524 minutes and had 3 yellows from 3 starts. He just seems a bit of a nutter.
Not
Just a brief look at his career. 2 years ago, can't think what league that is. In Colombia, he averaged 0.41 yellows per 90. Yeah, 0.48 and 0.41 in the 2 competitions that season. And then got a red in the Copa League. Yeah, he just seems a bit of a nutter, and he hasn't been booked yet because he's only started 1 game. But I just think it wouldn't surprise me if he starts picking them up based on his career record. So yeah, 6.5, I have a point on John Solis.
Boom.
From Birmingham to Merthyr, and I've gone Merthyr to score over 2 goals at 4.5. So that's over 2.5 goals for Merthyr. Then Merthyr over 3.5 goals at 9's, half a point on that, 1 point on the over 2. They've dipped in recent weeks, losing their last 3. They've just lost Rico Reeves, who I mentioned earlier, and Cole Jarvis, who I was a big fan of, to Newport. They lost at Southport, and they've got absolutely battered that game. It let down our group backer, but they were a big price, and it let it down. Telford, they got an early red and lost 4-1. They lost at Darlington, but they're back at home. They've been strong all season, scoring a league high 66 goals in the league. They have, not at home, just in general. They hold the 4th best home record. They've signed Kivan Ray, Jordan Garrick, who's way too good for this level if he stays fit, and Jacob Maddox from Yeovil. So their deadline day signings were very ambitious. And Chorley sort of looking disarray, come off the back of two very poor home performances against Leamington and Peterborough Sports, two of the worst teams in the league, especially away from home. They won just twice away all season. Both were the first two away games of the season. They haven't won since then. Plagued by injury, particularly defensively. I don't know the ins and outs, but I would presume they're travelling on the day. So an early leave on the day, they'll be sort of on the coach, 3.5 hours there. It's not ideal preparation. I just think this is a perfect game for Murph to bounce back. So sort of riding the Murph wave and going over 2 goals at 4.5 and over 3 at 9s.
Beautiful. Murphy and goals. It just doesn't get any better than that. Third player on my list, Ian Giles to be carded 7-1, 365 point on that. Hull v Bristol City, similar to Paik, and that's how I heard a commentator pronounce that, Paik. So that's what I'm going with. But similar to him, he hasn't got the best cards per 90 career record, but he's picked up 6 this season. His most recent one came in a cameo against Watford in midweek.
That game, did you see what happened in that game?
No. What happened?
I had Matty Jacob at 13-1 he was, or 12-1. Massive for a left back, considering his record at Reading.
Yeah.
And then, but you know, the super sub, so he got subbed, and then they made 2 subs at the same time, 74th minute. They had it down as Giles on for Gelhardt and Miller on for Jacob, and then Giles got booked. I just, when I saw Giles on, I just presumed he was on the super sub for Jacob. They put it down as thingy, so I got robbed of a 12-1 winner because they didn't do it positionally. The fourth official obviously put the board up. Fucking for Gelhardt, I was fuming.
I bet. Well, this is purely my opinion, but I bet that fourth officials took a little backhander. Where was that price? Sky.
Bet365.
I bet he took a. I bet he took a backhander from Denise.
Someone said the whole manager does weird like orders of subs. To be fair, but still bollocks.
Do you know what? It might be worth having a look at that because
I've been looking, but I can't find proof of like it'll go off Opta unless I can find clear proof on the fourth official board.
Yeah. No, I meant having big prize cards because if they're going to get subbed for someone who gets loads, but it's not worth it, is it?
The whole fan I saw on Twitter just said the manager's the weirdest orders of subs. So.
Oh, that sucks because especially it's left back coming on for left back, and the left back who came on got carded. Bloody hell. Yeah. Anyway, Giles, that was his 6th card of the season. I think he missed all of January with an injury. He weren't in the side anyway, so he might be a bit rusty, which is good for this bet. Another good thing for this bet, Hull, most carded side in the division, and Langford is the referee, one of the division's best. I think he ranks 3rd for cards per game, just under 5, and that sort of referees to do at least 10 games. He loves the cards, and Giles is pretty good for him. Annoyingly, because I've got 2 fullbacks at the minute, Darnell Furlong and Ryan Giles. Annoyingly, they're not up against like any like direct opponent, with any pedigree. That's the only thing. That's the only niggling doubt for me with these players. Prices are good, referee's good. I think you've got to take it. So Giles is the 3rd of 4 players to make up the card Yankee and taking the single at 7-1, 365. Where are we going next? Are we going to the war? Oh no, you got a non-league pick, haven't you?
Yeah, one more non-league pick before going on to the game of the weekend. So I've gone Bedford-Chester, Bedford to win at 2-1. Chester in shambles at the moment. Uncertainty around the club. Callum McIntyre's popular figure at Chester, but he's going at the end of the season. Sort of one of them where you're questioning why he doesn't go now, but I think don't really know what's going on at Chester. But Bedford have scored at least 2 in 8 of their 15 home games. Chester have conceded 2 or more in 8 of their 15 away. Chester have lost their last 3 with goals coming in all of them. For some reason, most of the stuff I wrote down was for a goals angle. But basically, Chester is shit at the moment and they concede a lot. And I fancy Bedford to do them at home at 2-1.
Beautiful. Last play for me, it's from the game that you're going to talk about next, Brighton Palace. I was really trying to find out where this rivalry stems from. It's the mid-70s.
I tell you this every time.
And it's because they are 2 clubs desperate for any form of attention or just trying to fabricate some sort of rivalry to feel something, isn't it?
No, I'm not nibbling at that. No, well, it's just one of them. Just like when you're young, you just get taught to hate them.
Generation to generation. No, there's I've done the game for Sporting Life, and there's a clip from
It's Alan
Brighton.
Mullery mainly.
From who? What?
Alan Mullery in the 70s. Someone threw coffee at him, and he
Yeah.
came back out, lobbed coins at them. Was like, "This is all you're worth."
Yeah, there was
Uh,
like a dubious penalty got well, he took it, got
Yeah,
disallowed,
because we
retook
played
it.
them at Stamford Bridge. Because it back in those days, like you keep playing until there was a winner instead of going extra time. So like we drew at Goldstone, drew at their ground, and then played at Stamford Bridge for a third game, and then kicked off big time.
I love it. I love it. And what I really like is like it's like not lost it. The hatred's not lost from generation to generation. Like you are teaching your son. I'm sure your dad taught you, and I'm sure his dad taught him. Like no, we fucking hate Palace.
And no one from the outside understands it, which makes it even better. Like everyone writes it off as a rivalry, which sort of I don't think any of us really care what people think. Like it is heated. Like people don't expect it, so it does boot off.
Yeah, well, exactly that. Your head-to-head historic records are identical. I think Palace won 40, you've won 42. Last 14, there's been a goal or less to separate you on 12 occasions.
We always batter them, and they just always scrape a result.
Well, last season you beat them 4-1, didn't you? But then they beat you 3-1. Is that
No, they
true?
did double over us last season, and then
Oh
we
yeah.
beat
Sorry, it
the
was
season
away.
before we beat them 4-1. It was like the end of Hodgson. It was Wharton's debut, and he was fucking. I was so sure this Wharton was going to be a dud because he was absolutely dreadful, and I was wrong.
Classic. He's the most Spanish player ever to exist in England.
Oh, he's so
Ever.
good, isn't he?
He's so Spanish. I think if he got a tan and like jet black hair, oh, you know what? Like I genuinely, he's like carbon copy of Busquets. He's such a good player. I'd love to watch him some more live in the flesh. But you said it kicks off, and it does. I think there's been an average of 5.16 yellows across the last 5. And when I worked that out, I forgot to include the yellows, the reds. There were 3 reds, weren't there, last season? It booted off good and
Yeah.
proper. And Thomas Bramall's got the whistle, and he's a pretty decent appointment. I know he's averaged like 3.5 this
Is
season.
Bramall's won the rest of the. Is he the one like the fourth official that snitched on Arteta midweek? Was that him?
I don't
I
know.
hate Arteta, but Arteta was like having a joke with him, and then the fourth official goes snitch to the ref and get Arteta booked.
Did he?
If it isn't, I think I could see a lot of cards because he's seen like a proper school prefect.
Yeah, I was going to tweet about this in midweek, but I thought I can't be arsed. But I was watching EFL highlights, and there's a little referee and he shaves his head, but he's got hair, but he shaves it. And a player approached him, like put his hand on his shoulder, and he sort of like stood back and looked him up and down, and like you could see him mouth like, "If you touch me again, I'm going to book you." Same vibes. Like, why are they school prefects?
Yeah.
Why are they pricks in the way they just swan around the pitch? The most of these refs, I hate them. Yeah, but I'm hoping Bramall gives off them sort of vibes and does loads of cards. He's dished out 6 in his last Prem game, 6 in the FA Cup game before that, and 7. So he's been a bit cardsy at the minute. And then there's obviously the rivalry, and then the recent record in this game for cards. So you've got to have some cards in this game. I've got Brennan Johnson. He might not play, but 13-2, I can't not tip him. That's Bet365, so it's good. You know they're good for it. He's a very unlikable player, and that's no bias.
Just because he's Welsh.
No, not Welsh.
Oh yeah, and the
Forest.
playoff.
Because his time at Forest, cards per 90 0.35 this season, even based
It's
on his
big if he's
career.
against Feltman as well.
Yes, and his career, like I was expecting 9-2, and that's not including the ref or the opponents or his record this season. So yeah, and I think it's worth. Do you think Pascal Gross plays?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Well, if you do a double with Brennan Johnson and Gross, you get paid out at 28-1.
Actually, he scored last game, so Herzl will find a way to drop him.
Classic manager. But yeah, I'll also add the Pascal single 9-2 with Sky Bet. What cards have you got in this game?
Yeah, so 1.75 points on Van Heck at 3-1. That price is everywhere. I always mention how much I hate head-to-head betting, but I think it bears relevance in this game. If you look at Van Heck's foul record, he's not that cynical at foul. He doesn't make many fouls, so 0.83 per 90, but he's averaging 0.26. And obviously, I've got the benefit of doubt of watching Brighton. I say every week. I've haven't gone to the last few because I can't be asked. He follows. He's instructed to follow because Dunk can't run, so Van Heck just sort of aggressive because Van Heck's so good on the ball as well. Like Van Heck's our most creative player. Yeah, so Van Heck's often up the pitch, sort of tracking whoever the key player is going to be. We put him on that, so it's aggressive. If he ever gets overzealous in the tackle or loses his man, he's quite good at cynical. He's sort of a passion merchant, Van Heck. Like he's our best player, but he gets it as well. Like, you can see in his interviews and on the pitch because we're that dreadful. You can see it's pissing him off, and he lives for it, and he sort of gets it. He got sent off against them last year, wasn't it? Yeah, got an early yellow and then a late second yellow. There was a scuffle in the penalty area this year from a corner. He got booked for that. He's a big shithouse, Van Heck, and I think he's going to play off that today. He's going to try wind them up. And then the treble, I've got 98-1 with Sky, 0.25 points. Van Heck, Veltman, Mitchell. I'll be careful because our manager's a fucking clown and probably won't play Veltman. So if it does, Veltman would they wouldn't void it if Veltman came on. But he's another player that gets it. I remember away at Chelsea, you can tell there's a lot of bad blood between us and Chelsea, like the players, because of how some of the players had left. Veltman were crunching to tackle, sort of celebrate that, and he got booked against Chelsea. He was the same when we played Palace at home, when him versus Zaha just pocketed Zaha, had Zaha rattled, and he sort of excels in games like this, and I think he's going to be up for it. And he's got a good card record anyway. He's got 3 yellows in 7 starts this season, 5 in 19 last season. And then Mitchell, surprisingly, doesn't get that many cards, but 5 in 24 this season, 3 of those in his last 5. And he seems quite a reserved, like nice guy, sort of, considering he plays for Palace. But it just seems to it brings out another side of him. I remember him crunching into a few tackles versus Lamptey and stuff. Like he seems to be up for it a bit. So, yeah, I think playing on the local lads one for Palace, 98-1 treble, Mitchell, Veltman, Van Heck.
What about Gay? He likes a card in this game.
Who?
Mark Gay.
What, the one that plays for Man City?
Hey, right. I've got. I know I tipped him last time, Gay, and he's always a massive price. But the problem is he's switched clubs now, hasn't he? So what can you do? You love him as well, don't you?
Who?
Gay.
He's a fucking prick. He's good though, but he's a prick. I hate all of them.
Yeah, he's really good. He seems sound as well.
No, he's a prick.
He seems so sound.
You can't be sound and play for Crystal Palace.
You can't. Palace seems like the people's club out of those two. Out of you and them. I'm just being honest from the outside.
Yeah, fair enough.
They seem like one of the people's club.
No, I'm not falling for that.
And they've got that lovely section at the front that think they're from Germany or some Eastern European country.
All working recruitment in London wearing balaclavas.
Get the ballies on, get your big flags out, boys. We're going to make Sellers Park intimidating. They
coordinate their outfits as well. They've got like a group chat where they coordinate the outfits and where to meet.
Do they?
Yeah, they're fucking bunch of fannies.
Right, I've actually got more than that, but 2 angles left to talk about from last week or the week before. So, Norwich Blackburn early kickoff championship. Anis Ben Slimani, goal and assist, 80-1 this week. Take the hit on that, half a point. It were 80-1 last week, but they was away at, was it Coventry? Borough. So to get 50s is fucking nuts. I don't know where this version of Slimani was, because we had him at Bramall Lane and we were playing him left back. Or left mid or left wing back or centre mid for the reserves. I'm sure I watched him there and he was very, very average. But he's the number 10 now at Norwich. Who's the new manager? Clement.
Yeah, Philippe Clement.
He likes him. He likes him a lot. He's been playing the number 10, 9-2 to score any time. He got the player of the month in January. I think he netted 3 times where he's got 3 goals and I think he's got an assist. But anyway, I've messed that up. Goal and assist is 50-1. I'm having half a point on that. I'm also having the 5.5, 9-2 on him to score any time, a point on that. And he's a whopping 8-1 to have an assist with 365. He's been scoring more goals than getting assists, and both his goals and assists per 90 across his career aren't very good. But Clement's he's got Norwich playing. They've got a really good squad, and Slimani's the number 10. Like, these are just brilliant prices. Blackburn managerless in absolute free fall. They might get a bit of a boost, but I just think the situation with the Venky's, like, it's just toxic at Blackburn. I don't think the managerial change is going to make that much of a difference. That said, I won't back Norwich in the 1x2, just saying. But I think these prices are worth a punt. And the other one is Plymouth Lincoln, Adam Reach. He's going to be one of them that I just slip in there every week. 12-1, Sky Bet. Fair, Ladbrokes, I think Coral, Bet Victor have also gone 12s. He's generally 12s, half a point on that. He scores worldies, but you look at his post-shot expected goals. No, shot on target expected goals. It's 0.15 a game, which basically means you take like 4-1, but he's consistently over 10. So stick with it. You might get another goal soon. Is that all the bets?
All betted out.
All betted out. Right. I'll recap the ACCA and then I'll put the screenshot of the ACCA and the singles on this point of the YouTube video. So we've gone for a win ACCA this weekend. Hull to beat Bristol City, Bolton to beat Barnsley, Huddersfield to beat Blackpool, Stockport to beat Leyton Orient, Milvertown to beat Chorley, 25.3, 8-1. And as I say, all the singles, the screenshot of that will be in this point of the show. I forgot to say as well, my card Yankee, I've had 1.1 point total. It's doubles, treble, and the fourfold. And it is a big old price. Matthew, thank you for your time.
Pleasure as always.
I'm just trying to find that price before I go. Yeah, it's 3,959 on the card Yankee. Yep, pleasure as always. We'll be back similar time next week. Best of luck with all your bets for the weekend.